Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you the 10th iteration of my Fire Necromancer. It is fresh, it is new, it is so much quicker and cooler. As always, we will cover every single facet of this build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm using for this build are Summon Skeletal Mage, Dreadshade, Summon Wraith, Summon Bone Golem, and Summon Volatile Zombie. Now, I've only played this build for 5 real stream sessions. We're in the mid 80s. We literally have next to none end game gear. So what I'm going to be showcasing gameplay wise is just empowered content, what we were able to get to in those 5 days. So this is level 100 content, okay? And with this build, this is a minion ignite, minion damage over time build, okay? Every single time one of these minions hits an enemy, it is going to put 1 to 3 stacks of ignite on them. And in this iteration, every single time you use Summon Skeletal Mage, it is going to act as a free transplant where you will teleport and it'll bring 9 of your minions with you. So it's going to be easy to group all of the minions together or getting Dreadshade around them. It's going to be easy for you to get them out of harm's way. And it's just going to be easy for them to catch up to you where normally they are always trailing behind. Check this out. Let's see. We'll try and do a little bit of a speed run. Do a little bit of a speed run. You will see that every single time I cast Summon Skeleton Mage, 9 minions come with me. At the end, we'll just hang out here for a minute. That's a nice spot. Cast some zombies. Hands off the keyboard. Have they not killed everything yet? Oh, look, am I gonna die standing still? Let's see. Will we prevail? We will. Let's do another one. Let's check out Empowered Shade of Oribus. Okay. Can the new and improved Fire Necro prevail? Get them all grouped together. Red shade on all of them. Ooh. Not stand in that. And volatile zombies have kill threshold. He dead. Let me show you how to recreate this build. Now let's check out the skills for this new and improved Fire Necro. And just to be clear, there's a little bug right now, so these numbers are actually not correct, because I know I'm going to get the question. Skeletal Mage is at 24, Bone Golem's at 22, Zombies at 22, Wraiths at 22, Dreadshade's at 20. Looking at Summon Skeletal Mage, you want 4 into Putrid Essence, 1 into Pyromancers, 4 into Flame Rot, 1 into Inferno, 4 into Speed, 3 into Splinter Dominion, 2 into Frenzy, 1 into Arcania. This part of the tree is all new. 1 into Grave Passage, this is what gives you Teleport. 3 into Death's Cavalry, this is what takes 9 minions with you. And again, this is an Ignite build. So every single time a Splinter hits an enemy, it's going to put 1 stack of Ignite. Because even though this says Poison Chance, we are turning that Poison Chance into Ignite Chance. Staple skill, most important skill of the entire build. Moving over to Summon Bone Golem. And just know, this build is going to be more nasty in the future because my new unique is coming March 9th. Which is going to allow you to have a maximum of 4 of these bad boys. So imagine the build you just saw, but with 4 golems instead of 1. And they're not nerfed. It's going to be crazy. You want 5 into AOR, 5 into Burning Bones, 1 into Pyre Golem, 5 into World Pyre. And you want 1 into AOS, 4 into Tower of Bones, and 1 into Fragments of the Fallen. And of course, since we are taking the fire version, Ignite chance is going to be 100% every single time it hits. and it's going to do more damage over time because it's got its aura. Amazing skill. You notice the ignite pattern here. Moving over to summon volatile zombie, you want 3 into forceful commander, 5 into army of rot. This is going to give 150% poison chance, but again, just like skeletal mages, we're going to turn that into ignite chance. 1 point into repulsive vomit, 4 points into wretched innards, 1 into putridity, it's a tough word, and this is a 200% chance. So really, 200% chance, 150% chance, every single hit of your 6 zombies will put 3.5 stacks of ignite. Woo! 1 into daunting blast, 1 into ravenous, and 2 into pull of the grave. Zombies, main minion skill that has kill threshold. That is how that Shade of Oribus died so quick. Moving over to summon Wraith, we are taking the permanent version of Wraith, because I don't like having to try and use 2 non-permanent versions, too much summoning. 1 into Locus of the Resurrection, 5 into Haunting, 1 into Twin Spirits, 3 into SOA, 5 into Serrated, 1 into Spirits, 2 into Grave Reality, and these 4 points are honestly kind of wasted. They're honestly kind of wasted. We're not doing necrotic damage, and cast speed and summoning mana efficiency is fine. But really, this part of the tree is what's important. Now, unfortunately, Summon Wraith does not have an ignite on it. It only has a bleed. And since we're stacking damage over time, it's still going to do damage, and it's still good to take this portion of the tree. But I'm going to show you how we're going to add ignite effect to our Wraiths. Okay? So don't worry. Last but not least, Dread Shade, one of the best multiplayer skills there are, and it's going to buff you and all your minions as well. You want 1 into Wisdom of Dead, 1 into Martyrdom, 4 into Spectral Presence, 1 into Lone Watcher, 3 into Dying Coven, 4 into Grim Fate, 1 into Apparition, and what this is going to do is allow Dread Shade to work with the entire party. Because you're just so nice. Then you want 4 into Lingering Doom and 1 into Vile Gas. Take a little bit more poison damage for those enemies. Great skill. And you want as many minions as you can inside of that ring. Those are the skills. Now let's check out the passives for this Fire Necro. I am currently level 85. Level 85. You want 8 into Forbidden Knowledge, 8 into Soul and Vitality, 5 into Dark Rituals, and 1 into Soul Aegis. That's it. Okay. I put nothing into Lich, even though Apo is pretty good. This is intelligence and mana regen. If I was struggling with regen, I would put some points here, just so you know. Moving over to Necromancer, 75 points. 8 into Risen Army, 5 into Grave Thorns, 1 into Blood Armor, 10 into Mortal Tether, 2 into Dark Retribution. This is where every time one of your minions dies, and remember, your zombies are dying and you're recasting them all the time, you have an 8% chance to make a Vanguard, which means most of the time you're always going to have 3 Vanguards. They are a free minion, and since that minion hits, that means it's putting ignite stacks on, which means it is helping with damage. And they're basically free minions. You can even put 1 point in if you want. 5 into Frantic Summons, 5 into Effigies, 8 into Tyrant, 8 into Cling to Life, 3 into Empty the Graves, 1 into Disciplines of the Necromancy, 10 into Rites of Undeath, 3 into Moonlight Pyre, and 5 into Veins of Malice. Now, I'm only level 85. My next 7 points are going into Hunger. This is going to give you life, and then every single time you use a potion, it's going to give your minions 10% increased cast speed. So, you know, and it kind of makes sense. It's cool, right? You hit your potion because you're losing life, and then it, you know, like a steroid shot to your minions to try and help keep you alive. Those are the passives. Moving over to everyone's favorite section, of course, that is gear. Now, like I said earlier, I've only used this character for 5 play sessions, but since I showed you the gameplay in the Shade of Oribus, I want to show you the gear I am working with. And honestly, it's not half bad for only playing 5 times. If you want to see true end game gear, check out the build planner in the description. Okay, so let's start off with idols. There's one quintessential idol. I can't believe I already found it, but it is right here. This is chance to summon Flame Wraith instead, and 5% minion chance to apply Mark of Death on hit. Now, this can roll as high as 10, and Flame Wraith as high as 57, but if you find it even in the lowest rolled form, put it on. Other minion is also chance to make Flame Wraith. This is how I always make Flame Wraiths. instead of the poison or the necrotic version of them. Okay, all the 4 other idols are minion fire damage, and this can roll as high as 72%. So I've only found 4, but I got 31, 47, 48, and 46. Again, check the build planner for the best idols, but this is what it's going to look like. All right, moving over to gear, I'm going to talk about the 2 uniques that I am currently using. All right, the first one is Raven's Rise. I'm also very surprised that I found this so early in the CT. This is going to give your minions better movement speed. They're going to take less damage while moving. You're going to get +2 to minion skills, and you're going to get resistances. Great pair of gloves for this build. And earlier when I was talking about summon wraiths, I told you I'm going to show you how we're going to give our wraiths ignite chance. And that is right here with the Dragon Flame Edict Staff. That is a common drop from the Emperor of Corpses timeline in the Monolith. Now, this is a terrible rolled one, and this doesn't have legendary potential. Okay, so just again, check out the build planner so you can see what's possible. But ultimately, this can roll as high as 200% chance to ignite on a minion hit, which means earlier when I showed you the 300% chance on zombies and the 100% chance on mages and the 100% chance on golem, well, add an additional 133% chance to your vanguards and all of your minions, including minion fire resistance and minion fire damage. So right now we don't have access to the training dummy, so I can't show you how many actual stacks I'm putting on enemies. It's hard for me to tell because everything dies so fast. So we'll have to see how many stacks we can get. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. I'll go through each item one by one. Helmet, life, minion fire damage, amulet, minion damage, minion health, armor, and this is where my new unique is going to be March 9th. Minion health, vitality, health, ring, minion damage, minion health, belt, mana regen, minion damage, ring, minion damage, minion health, resistances, relic, +2 to Skeletal Mage. There is a relic, again, you'll see it in the build planner, that gives as high as 90% minion fire damage. I desperately need that for this build, but I haven't got a even decently rolled one. And then our boots that are absolutely terrible. See, imagine this build, what you just saw, with actual end game gear. It would be amazing. Now let's check out the character sheet for this level 85 Fire Necro. Currently have 10 points of intelligence, 42 points to vitality, 28% movement speed. Resistances are, they're not very good. Fire, lightning, necrotic are maxed. Cold and physical are almost there. Void's a little over halfway, and we have 0 poison. So definitely need to spread some of this out. And again, that should be really easy. There's some of my gear that doesn't even have 4 affixes on it. When you look at the actual minion stats, this is what's important. And through end game gear and leveling up this character, without exaggeration, you could double these stats. Our overall minion damage is at 476. We did crack 4 digits on fire damage. We're at 1041. And increased minion health, we are at 731. Now, something you should know. On the passive tree, on every single skill tree, I have removed crit. So for a long time, I was still taking some crit nodes, and this is straight dot damage over time build. Do not waste any points on anything that is crit related. I know it's hard to not take them, but don't do it. That is not what this build is focused on. Last but not least, let's talk about leveling this character. This is great, Aaron, but I'm level 1. How do I get it to level 85 looking like this? Great question. 1, if you have access to leveling uniques, you want Reach of the Grave. Unequivocally, probably one of the best leveling items in the game when it comes to minions. It's going to give you cast speed, it's going to give you attack speed for your minions, and it's going to give them a lot more damage. If you don't have access to Reach of the Grave, no big deal. You could take a wand or staff and craft minion melee damage and minion spell damage right on it. Either way works. This is just easy if you have it laying around already. Now, the skills you want to take You're going to get Summon Skeleton as basically one of your first skills. You then want to take Transplant so you can move quickly and level quickly. This is going to be like a teleport. Then you're going to get kind of your starting damage dealer, which is going to be Summon Volatile Zombie. Okay. Then you want to get Summon Bone Golem. Then once you unlock your mastery and you get Summon Skeletal Mage, you want to switch in Skeletal Mage for Summon Skeleton. Okay. By that time, you're probably at endgame. And if you don't want to do the campaign, you can get to level 30, 35. And once you feel confident, you've got even a couple of items that are decent, you could turn into the monolith and level up quickly. Day 1 of streaming, we played for 6 hours and I was right under level 70. Okay. So just know a little bit of knowledge, just follow those skills. You could get there in a day. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my 10th iteration, my new and improved Ignite Fire Necro? Is there something I missed? Is there something I can do to push this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and wait for this build when my new unique comes out and you're looking at the screen and it's exactly as it looks now, except there is 2, 3, or 4 of these big bad boys behind me. It is gonna be awesome. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share. I already told you to comment and check out the Patreon. It is the best way to support me financially. Thank you all. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.